Good evening, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray that the Most High blesses this lesson today and gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth, in order to get a much better understanding of the events that are soon to come on the earth. Just kind of looking and just reading and studying and getting more enlightened every single day. And it was funny because this weekend there's all this news about United States getting ready to attack Iran because of what happened in Saudi Arabia, and then again nothing. As you can see, it's a pattern because they're trying so desperately to make everyone think that biblical prophecy is all about what is happening in the so-called Middle East. So you have these events, and it's always, well, we're gonna attack, we're gonna move some troops, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that, and then nothing happens. This goes with your whole wars and rumors of wars. You know, we might get some conflicts here going on here and there, yes and no, yes, definitely. But a lot of it is now just rumors of wars just to keep people's attention in the so-called Middle East, because the world is, the Gentile world is falling apart. Their whole storyline is coming to pieces, and that's all praises to the Most High, because He's now exposing these people. He's exposing their lies, and as they get more exposed, on the daily, they're losing power. Less and less people are listening to their BS. Less and less people are falling for their garbage. And I read something and I wanted to share with the family today, because what happened was this. When the Gentiles came over here, they saw how advanced everything was, how technologically advanced, how the societies were just absolutely beautiful. The architecture, the families, the people, and they had nothing to do with it. They've always wanted to claim their superiority, but this was the ultimate, screw you to you guys. You guys have nothing to do with any of this. You weren't even here till 1492, so you can't claim any of this stuff for yourself. So when they got here and they saw this, how beautiful and advanced, and how much better everything was here than it was over where they were, they had to find some way to interject themselves into being a part of this. And it's funny how when we came into the truth, and we were talking about how, Yahweh Shai was a person of man of color, how all of the people that were actually in the scriptures were all black men of color. And it's funny how the Gentiles were always, well, that doesn't matter. What does it matter? What does it matter? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's what you hear all the time from them. But it's funny because when you get into these books and they talk about the white bearded God, they so push that in all these books. The white bearded God, Quetzalcoatl, the white bearded God, the fair God, the white God. It's all over the books because they are trying so desperately to interject themselves in our storyline. But it's this simple math. 1492, anything before 1492, the thousands of years of all the accomplishments before 1492, they had nothing to do with. So in order for them to do that, they have to write books like the one we're going to get into a little bit. And it's fair God, white God, white bearded God, white God, white God, white God, white God, white God. Hey, hold on. Did I tell you it was a white God, white God? Hold on. Did I tell you guys again? Hey, yeah, it was a white God. It's it's funny because for people who keep saying that color doesn't matter, all these books try their best to show you that the God that the natives were worshiping here was a white, fair-looking God. So with that set up like that, they'll tell you the truth when they told you that all these accomplishments were accomplished by white people. It's hilarious because they make it sound like the white people came over. I'm gonna actually use that one later on. That the white people found the black people in caves, and that they had to actually teach the black people how to clean themselves and how to be civilized because they were just like animals living in caves. That's literally actually in these books. Now the black people were living in caves, and that the white people had to come and civilize them, like thousands of years ago. And they push out a lot. Black people this and white people that. White people were the Nephites, and the black people or anybody of color are Lamanites. So that's what Esau has done. He tries to just oversimplify everything. All white people are this and all black people are that. That's like a Gentile frame of thought. And a lot of these Gentile thoughts you're going to see as I bring up more of this information has permeated into the Hebrew Israelite movement as well, where it's all these people are this and all these people are that. And it's not that simple, because even before the Europeans got here, there would be a mix of people here because, again, black people's DNA is dominant. We can make everything from white skinned people to dark skinned people and everything in the middle. So, of course, if we're populating the world and having babies, all of our babies are not going to look the same. Some are going to be light skinned, some are going to be chocolatey in the middle, some are going to be dark skinned. That's just how it is because that's what we produce, everything. So things are not that simple. But this is going to be a short video just because I want to only go over a couple of pages. So when you understand why they keep on pushing the fair God, white God, hey, it was a white God who did all this other stuff, when they kind of establish that point, when they establish that, hey, it's a white God, white people did all this stuff, white people did all this stuff, then they'll tell you the truth. Because they're trying to definitely make sure you think that when we talk about the Israelites, we're thinking about white people. But we're going to see real quick how they just tell on themselves right here. I mean, this stuff is just like, damn, right in your face. When you're able to see past all the lies and see what they're, what's really going on, it's just like, dude, you just told on yourself again and again and again. Check this out. Well, of course, every time I see white God, I keep hearing fair God. I keep seeing these in these books. The white God, the bearded white guy, the white God, and all these black Indians were already worshiping this white God. I just can't get past this right here. I'm like, come on, man. It's like, really? I was like, it's got to get to a point where it's like, dude, come on, man. I mean, you're still sticking with that, but that's cool. I mean, hey, what else you got? I guess at this point. We're going to jump back into this archaeology and the Book of Mormon. So this is the book right here. As I was looking through books, other books kept popping up. So my wife's like, hey, you need to get this one. She would read a little bit of it. And so we would order it because, she saw a couple of really important and really important, bits of information that we definitely would need. So we went ahead and ordered this book. And I want to say it was like $10, $12. And man, unbelievable the amount of information in these books. So I said, okay, we're going to check it this one right here. Maya's intellectual achievements. This is huge right here. Okay. Watch how they just tell themselves right here about the Mayans. As we approached, there's a big group of white people who Mormons who went to all these different places down in Mexico and South America. They went to go visit the the Mormons, their Nephite heritage, their Nephite lands. So it was a big group of white people who went down here. So they're down here, and they're proud because this is all the stuff that we built. The Mayans, all the stuff that the Mayans were doing, those were all white people that did this stuff. I'm like, dude, that's why I'm just like, come on, like really, you still on that? I go, okay, all right, man, let's go. As we approach the Caracol or astronomical observatory, Our guide explained, perhaps there is no archaeological structure in Chichen Itza which was of greater importance to its ancient inhabitants than was this one. Is this in this building the priest astronomers studied the heavenly bodies? They were outstanding scientists, attaining a knowledge which would have been the envy of any people in the world in their day. Perhaps their knowledge of astronomy was more complete and comprehensive than that of any race of antiquity. You don't say. I thought you guys said these people were stupid. I thought you said they were running around here naked, didn't even know how to cover themselves. Oh, yeah, and you also found them in caves and you guys had to civilize them too, right? Come on now. All right, here we go. The Maya priest astrologers plotted the courses of the planets, including dim and elusive Mercury. So accurate were the measurements of those ancient Maya astronomers that they differ only slightly in degrees and minutes from those of our present day astronomers aided by powerful telescopes and advanced mathematical formulas. They were fully aware of a 365 and 1/4 day year and developed a calendar of an 18-month year of 20 days each, plus a 5-day week at the end of each year. To take care of the remaining 1/4 day, they made corrections for leap year at convenient intervals. This they computed and put into daily practice long before the Julian calendar was adopted in Rome. And in consequence, centuries before Pope Gregory the 13th called for a conference in 1582 when our present day calendar was created. You don't say. So these people had a much more accurate calendar for at least hundreds of years before you guys got here. That's funny. So let's think here. Let's try to get this. Let's sort of wrap our heads around this. So your calendars suck. You came over here. You stole information from here. You take it back to let's see, Europe, and then all of a sudden, within a few decades, you have a brand new calendar you guys came up with. So I think the easiest thing to probably say was you probably stole that information, took it back over to Europe, and just said it was yours, like many other things that we're going to get into from these books. You start to see now what's going on? Coming over here, getting this information and taking it back, and then releasing it again to the public and saying that you came up with it. This is just a little bit of the information. Wait, it's going to get better. Check this part out. Let's check out the next one. The old Mayan astronomers didn't stop with their observations of the movements of the sun, the moon, and the 5 known planets, but compiled tables of lunar eclipses and predicted these with astounding accuracy. That's crazy. I wonder what group of people actually got given this information. Oh, let's see. Enoch was given this information, and then he handed it down from to his children, down to his posterity for generation to generation. So maybe let me see, if we look and we find the people that actually have this kind of information, maybe, just maybe, those would be from the line of Enoch and his chosen line that the Most High gave this information to and had them pass it down from generation to generation. So if you probably found a bunch of people that actually were really, really advanced, more than likely, they probably are from the Israelites. But hey, I'm just saying. Let's see what the book says, though. In his most recent book, The Rise and Fall of Mayan Civilization, Dr. J. Eric S. Thompson discussed at considerable length the astronomical knowledge attained by the Mayas. He declared that it was as a great intellectual achievement for the Maya priest astronomers to construct a table for predicting when solar eclipses would be visible. He, like most writers, gives the Mayas full credit for the complete development of all their astronomical knowledge. However, it may be possible that they inherited many ideas from their ancestors, the ancient Israelites. Now, see, they'll let you know that it was the Israelites who these people descended from when you think that they're white. White God, white God, white God, white God, fair God, bearded white God. That's why they keep saying it all the time. So everyone gets that stuck in their mind. Oh, the Nephites are white. That means the natives were white. That means the Israelites are white. Well, we know that ain't true. You go to Acts 13, and all those brothers right there were all niggas, black people, Christians. That's what when I told the Mormon that came to my house the other day, and I showed him Acts 13 and showed him what nigger means and how as a Christian, he was supposed to come back on Friday. Poor dude probably went home. He said he was going to study that out. So he probably went home and studied it out and found out that I was right. I said, well, if these guys are black and they were the Christians and the 10 tribes were their brothers, so what color would that make the brothers? And he kind of, you could see that machine turning in his head, like, oh shoot, oh my gosh, yeah. Actually, this dude actually reads, so you're not gonna be able to come in and just tell me your opinion and tell me your feelings, So they actually ran up to somebody who actually reads and knows something, and they were supposed to come back on Friday, and needless to say, they didn't come back. So this right here is showing you the Maya's ancestors were the ancient Israelites. Let's keep going because, hey, guess what? They're telling themselves even more. Next page, right here. The ancient Hebrew prophets attained a profound knowledge of the stars and planets by direct revelation from heaven. For example, the Lord appeared to Abraham and gave him power to look into space, as if he were using a modern telescope. The Lord showed Abraham a marvelous vision of the numerous works he had created. Continue here. Okay, he had created and explained the various heavenly bodies at which Abraham was looking. The ancient prophet wrote, I saw the stars, that they were very great, and they multiplied before mine eyes, and I would not see the end thereof. The Lord explained to the ancient patriarch the times, seasons, and the laws which govern the solar systems. The knowledge of astronomy received by Father Abraham and recorded for his posterity is in complete agreement with modern astronomical science. Now, see, this information is not in the Bible. This information is hidden in other books that our people don't read. But see, they read them. But the thing is that Gentiles tell you that you can't read them, and then you actually listen to them. Yeah, they're reading all of our books. They're reading all of our information. They tell you, hey, you don't read it. And they put somebody that looks like you in front of you, and he tells you, hey, don't read this. And you don't. Like, you should actually, like, do you really think you should be listening to Gentiles at this point, telling you what you can and can't read? Do you really think that you should be listening to other people that look like you, that are still at this point telling you you should not be reading any of this information? Let's continue. Moses also received revelation from the Lord regarding astronomy and a vision of the heavenly bodies, God's creations, similar to those received by Abraham. Wouldn't it make sense? And I tell people this all the time. Wouldn't it make sense that the people that actually the Most High is making these covenants with, like he made a covenant with Abraham, wouldn't it make sense that he would actually, I don't know, show him things and maybe Abraham would write some of this information down, but we don't have any of that? You don't think that, Moses was up in on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. You don't think that, he showed Moses anything else? Think about all of these books that I'm sure they wrote that have been hidden. And these guys are telling you there's other books right here. There's other experiences right now. Okay, let's continue right here. In their scriptures, these ancient Hebrew patriarchs handed down their knowledge of astronomy to their posterity, okay, or to their descendants. All right. The Nephites brought the Hebrew scriptures with them from the holy city to the New World. Now, that's why they always try to make it see the Nephites were white. White God, white God, white God, fair God, fair God, a white beard, white God. Because they keep trying to interject themselves, always trying to put themselves in the mix. This has nothing to do with you, Gentiles. This has to do with the Hebrews. The Hebrews brought their stuff over here. That's why they knew all this stuff. Let's continue. The Nephites brought the Hebrew scriptures with them from the holy city to the New World. And so one is not surprised to find such statements in the Book of Mormon as the following. And it appeareth unto man that the sun standeth still. Yea, and behold, that is not so. For surely it is the earth that moveth and not the sun. Perhaps the basic ideas of astronomy which the Nephites had were handed down to the Mayans. Okay, let's finish up this page. Dr. J. Eric S. Thompson gives an elaborate discussion on the Maya philosophy of time. In it, he states, so far as this general outlook on life is concerned, the great men of Athens would not have felt out of place in the gathering of Maya priests and rulers. But had the conversation turned on the subject of the philosophical aspects of time, the Athenians, or for that matter, representatives of any of the great civilizations of history, would have been at sea, and for fact, they would not have been comfortable. Okay, no other people in history has taken such an absorbing interest in time as did the Maya, and no other culture has ever developed a philosophy embracing such an unusual subject. So we'll get into this even more. I said this is just a couple pages. I said there is so much information. And once you kind of parse through all the BS and the white God and the fair God and the white guy came over here, and there's always one white guy who comes over here and he's the one that actually taught all you black people over here, all you brown people over here. There had to be one white guy who came over here and taught you guys everything. I said, we already know that's not true. So when they're admitting things, they're admitting because they were proud at this time. They had the wool pulled over our eyes at this time. So they were admitting many things. But now at the end, as the Most High opens up our eyes, we realize all this information was talking about our people of color that were over here. Now the Most High has given us back our history and our understanding. And it's a beautiful time to be alive, because now we're realizing that all this prophecy is all surrounding the people here in this land at this time. And the Most High is now waking us up and giving us our history back, giving us our knowledge of our culture back and who we are as a people. So when you keep on hearing, why God, Nephites were white, they were white. You Lamanites were black. Black skin's a curse, black skin's a curse. Just remember the source. Remember, these people have lied to us about absolutely everything. So at this point, come on, man. When you keep hearing that garbage, you just gotta laugh and smile like this guy right here. Like, come on, man. You want me to take you serious? Come on, man. I've heard that joke now, for the last 15, 20 years, man. I say, you got a new one? You got any new jokes? I said, yeah. We were over here. Yeah, we were over here listening to white Jesus over here, right? Okay. Come on now. Let it go. Now this time it's time to start to admit the lies and admit the truth. You might as well just say, yeah, man, you got me. I'm ready to learn from you. I want to learn the truth from you now. I said, because our fathers have inherited lies and we don't know anything but how to lie. So if we want to learn, we need to shut our mouths, have a seat, and listen. Because that's the times we're into now. So we're not listening to absolutely anything you guys have to say anymore. And many people are starting to wise up to that fact as well. That's from another video. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom, family.